Production and presentation of opera. Welcome to the 16th annual Opera in the Park concert. Live from the music concourse of San Francisco's Golden Gate Park. Presented by the San Francisco Opera, Lotfi Mansouri, General Director. In association with the San Francisco Examiner and the Friends of Recreation and Parks. Our soloists on today's concert, soprano Ruth Ann Swenson, tenor Placido Domingo, bass baritone Michael Devlin, and bass baritone Justino Diaz. With the San Francisco Opera Orchestra, conducted by Maurizio Arena. And now, here's your host, Michael Dixon.
Thank you, Sedge. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Golden Gate Park, where the San Francisco Opera's 16th annual Opera in the Park concert is about to begin. This year's concert is presented as a tribute and as a celebration to the memory of Maestro Kurt Herbert Adler, who founded Opera in the Park. Now, our program today features four widely acclaimed artists from the San Francisco Opera's opening production of the 1988 season, Giacomo Meyerbeer's L'Africaine. After performing in the season opener on Friday night, our four soloists are here today for this wonderful outdoor concert to sing the music of Bizet, Rossini, Giordano, Mozart, Gounod, and Giuseppe Verdi. And as a special treat, Placido Domingo will conduct the San Francisco Opera Orchestra in the overture to Verdi's La Forza del Destino, and that will open the second half of our program. And throughout the concert, Sedge Thompson will be on hand to tell us about the music that we will be hearing. Now, as usual, on these popular annual Sunday events, as you can probably see, we have about 40,000 or more people who are all over the music concourse. Under the trees, they've spread picnic blankets. Spectacular. It's a beautiful day here in San Francisco. Now, they're eagerly awaiting the start of our program, so let's go now to the stage of the bandshell, where Maestro Maurizio Arena will begin our concert by conducting the San Francisco Opera Orchestra in our national anthem.
Maurizio Arena, conducting the San Francisco Opera Orchestra and the 40,000 voice chorus here today. The Italian maestro conducts L'Africaine in San Francisco Opera's fall season, which opened Friday. As our opening operatic selection for today's Opera in the Park concert, Maestro Arena has chosen the overture to Verdi's opera, Nabucco. Mr. Arena conducted this opera during last fall's season here in San Francisco. The overture introduces many of the most important themes of the opera, including the melody of the famous chorus, Va pensiero, go my thoughts on wings of gold. the music of Giuseppe Verdi, the overture to Nabucco, conducted by Maurizio Arena. Since his debut at San Francisco Opera conducting Manon Lescaut in 1983, Maestro Arena has returned for Adriana Lecouvreur and Falstaff in 1985. Clearly a favorite with both the orchestra and the public, he'll be back with San Francisco Opera for the 1989 fall season. The first of several singers on this afternoon's program is the world-renowned tenor Placido Domingo, who stars as Vasco da Gama in San Francisco Opera's season opera, L'Africaine. Mr. Domingo will sing an aria from Verdi's Luisa Miller. Learning that his beloved Luisa will marry another man, Rodolfo despairingly recalls the moments they first spent together. Quando, sere, Placido, when in the calm of the evening. From Luisa Miller with Placido Domingo.
Agli occhi miei. Se cielo e terra, se mortali ed angeli attestarmi dovesse che ella non è rea, mentite, io risponder dovrei, tutti mentite. Son cifre sue. Quanta perfidia un'alma si nera, si mendace, bella conobbe il padre. Ma dunque chiudi speranza, la gioia, le lacrime, l'affanno, tutto è mentaglia, tradimento, inganno. Stringermi dalla sua man sentia, e questa mano stringermi alla sua man sentia. Mi tradia, mi tradia. All'alma mia in suono angelico amo te sol dicea. Mi tradia, mi tradia. Nemico t'amo dicea mi tradia
From Verdi's Luisa Miller, Placido Domingo has sung Quando, sere a Placido. This is Mr. Domingo's third appearance here at Opera in the Park. He debuted here in 1978, and in his second appearance in 1980, he both sang and performed at the piano, and later today, he'll conduct for us as well. Last season at the San Francisco Opera, Mr. Domingo sang the title role in the acclaimed production of The Tales of Hoffmann, directed by Lotfi Mansouri. Placido Domingo, and one of his most exciting appearances at the War Memorial Opera House was his never-to-be-forgotten opening night substitution as Othello in 1983, when he was flown in by private jet. Young American soprano Ruth Ann Swenson joins us next here at Golden Gate Park this afternoon. Miss Swenson sings the role of Inez in L'Africaine this season at the San Francisco Opera. Her first selection this afternoon is one of the most popular of the bel canto arias, Una voce poco fa, from Rossini's The Barber of Seville. The high-spirited heroine of the opera sings in this aria about her beloved Lindoro, whose voice has just serenaded her. Rosina is used to getting what she wants, and she's determined to marry Lindoro. Nothing will stop her. A voice, a little go, resounded in my heart. One of the coloratura masterpieces of Gioacchino Rossini, Una voce poco fa, from The Barber of Seville, sung by Miss Ruth Ann Swenson as Rosina.
She's a great character. She's feisty, she's bright, she's quick. She's gonna get it all, especially if I do it.
Ruth Ann Swenson, a great favorite with the San Francisco audiences since her debut here in 1983. Another member of San Francisco Opera's opening night cast joins us now, the American bass baritone Michael Devlin, who sang the role of Don Pedro in L'Africana on Friday. This is the serenade of Mephistopheles from Gounod's Faust.
Chi faites dormire, non t'adevo pas, oh Caterina, mamma, non t'adevo pas, parfois j'y vais pas, ainsi ton galop t'appelle, ainsi ton galop t'appelle, et ton cœur la croix. N'ouvre ta porte, ma belle, que la bague au doigt. N'ouvre ta porte, ma belle, que la bague au doigt, que la bague au doigt. Caterina che j'adore, pourquoi refuser, par amour qui vous implore, pourquoi refuser un si doux baiser, un si tôt galant supplie, un si tôt galant supplie, et ton cœur la croix. Ne donne baiser ma ville, et la bague au doigt. Ne donne baiser ma ville, et la bague au doigt, et la bague au doigt.
The demonic laughter and the mocking love song of Mephistopheles concludes this diabolical serenade from Faust by Charles Gounod. Bass baritone Michael Devlin.
It really embodies the material character of the whole role for me, very much so, with a real knife blade of sarcasm woven through the touches of humor.
A native of New Orleans, Mr. Devlin has also been heard here as Count Almaviva in The Marriage of Figaro.
Sei mio, sì tutto mio, come ser deposente la tua virtù, se non bevuto ancora, di gioia in gioia, già mi colmi le petto. Ma perché mai l'effetto non ne possio vedere, pria che un giorno intero non sia trascorso. Beva sì. Oh buono, oh caro, un altro sorso. O qual di vena in vena dolce calor mi scorre. Ah, forse anch'essa, forse la fiamma stessa incomincia a sentir. Certo la sente, me l'annunzia la gioia e l'appetito, che in me si risvegliò tutto d'un tratto. Diamine ed essa, ma no, non ci appressia dei miei sospiri, non si stanchi però. Tant'è domani adorarmi povrà quel cor spietato.
Non mi guarda neppur, come cambiato.
Trallarallarallarallaralera, trallarallarara, trallarallarara, trallarallarallarallarera, trallarallarara, trallarallarara, trallarallarara. Finora amor non sente. Trallarallarallarallarera, trallarallarara, trallarallarera, trallarallarara, trallarallarara.
Vuol farli indifferenti.
Finora amor non sente.
Vuol farli indifferenti.
Finora amor non sente. Esulti pur la Barbara per poco alle mie pene. Domani avranno termine, domani m'amerà la Barbara, domani m'amerà, sì m'amerà.
Spezzar vorrei la stolida, gettar le sue catene.
Esulti
Provi piano
domani
sentirà la stolida,
la perfida
sentirà.
esulti pur la Barbara per poco alle mie pene, per poco alle mie pene. Domani avranno termine, domani m'amerà la perfida la metto in opera, così per una prova.
Di soffrire prima,
Dimenticarlo io spero,
quell'antico sol,
se stinguerà fra poco, ancora un giorno solo, e il cuore guarirà.
davvero, non è consola, ma pure si vedrà.
Un giorno solo, Esulti pur la Barbara per poco alle mie pene. Domani avranno termine, domani m'amerà. Esulti pur la Barbara, Esulti pur la Barbara per poco alle mie pene. Domani avranno termine, domani m'amerà. Domani avranno termine, domani m'amerà. Sì, sì, che m'amerà, sì, che m'amerà, sì, m'amerà.
Esulti pour la Barbara from Donizetti's The Elixir of Love, sung by Ruth Ann Swenson and Placido Domingo. Placido coming out in straw hat, carrying a jerubim of champagne, and of course, The Elixir of Love, a much-wanted bottle of wine. Ruth Ann Swenson and Placido Domingo as Nemorino and Adina, denying that by tomorrow they'll be both madly in love. A duet from Donizetti's The Elixir of Love. Placido Domingo carrying the bottle of champagne high over his head off stage here at Golden Gate Park. Well, the first half of our Opera in the Park concert concludes with a selection sung by bass baritone Justino Diaz, who sings the role of Nabucco in L'Africaine. This afternoon, Mr. Diaz will sing an aria from Umberto Giordano's opera Andre Chenier. A leader of the French Revolution is about to sign the death warrant of the poet Chenier, whom he once admired. In his aria, he reflects cynically that to denounce a man as his enemy of the state is an old trick that the crowd always believes. Justino Diaz sings Nemico della patria from Giordano's Andre Chenier.
Nemico della patria e vecchia fiaba che beatamente ancor la beve il popolo. Dato a Costantinopoli straniero, studio a Sessir soldato, traditore un complice e poeta soffertitor di cuori e di costumi. Passione a peggio uccide figlio, pel primo dito il grido suo pel mondo, vedo al suo il mio grido unito. Or smarrito la fede del sognato destino, come era irradiato di gloria il mio cammino. La coscienza nel cuor ridestar delle genti, raccogliere le lacrime dei vinti e sofferenti, fare del mondo un pantheon, gli uomini indimutare e in un salvaggio, e in un salvaggio e abbraccio tutte le genti amar, e in un salvaggio e abbraccio tutte le genti
Justino Diaz singing Nemico della patria, enemy of the state, from ANDRE CHENIER.
Nemico della patria is I think, one of the most beautiful baritone arias ever written. It has conflicting emotions, and he is destroyed between what he feels should be right and what he has to do. I think that the last 16 bars are just one of the most beautiful pieces of music ever written.
His last appearance in San Francisco was in 1986 when Justino Diaz stepped in on short notice to sing Mephistopheles in Faust, one of his most frequently performed roles. And leaving the stage is our conductor today, Maurizio Arena. And that dramatic conclusion to the first part of our musical program obviously sparked an enthusiastic response from the 40,000 people here in Golden Gate Park today. This annual free concert has become a traditional part of the busy opening weekend of San Francisco Opera's fall season, which began Friday. On the second part of our program this afternoon, we'll hear more operatic music by composers including Bizet, Mozart, Donizetti, and Verdi, performed by our soloists, Ruth Ann Swenson, Placido Domingo, Michael Devlin, and Justino Diaz. I'm Sedge Thompson, and coming up is intermission at Opera in the Park with Michael Dixon. Production and presentation of Opera in the Park is made possible in part by grants from the Fred Gellert Foundation, by the San Francisco Examiner, a newspaper for the next generation, and by the members of KQED. You are watching Opera in the Park, broadcast in TV stereo on KQED Channel 9, San Francisco, and listening to the simulcast on KQED FM San Francisco 88.5.
It's intermission time here at Opera in the Park, and in just a moment we'll meet the new general director of the San Francisco Opera, Lotfi Mansouri, and talk to him about the upcoming season and what he has planned for the future of the San Francisco Opera. Kurt Herbert Adler, the late general director of the San Francisco Opera, passed away earlier this year. He was a major force in the development of the company. Now, later on during the intermission, we'll hear his story as told by his wife, Nancy Adler. But first, the excitement of last Friday evening as the city celebrated the opening night of the 66th opera season in San Francisco. Thousands turned out to see Shirley Barrett and Placido Domingo in Meyerbeer's L'Africaine. And just prior to the performance, the Opera Guild held a fundraising event, Jewels of the World, attracting some local and international celebrities to the Friday night gala, including Paloma Picasso, Shirley Temple Black, and Mrs. Gordon Getty. But you didn't have to be famous to enjoy the opening night. San Franciscans proved again that no matter where they come from or what they do, this is a city whose people love the opera. February 9th of this year, after over 40 years with the San Francisco Opera, impresario Kurt Herbert Adler passed away. Today, his wife, Nancy Adler, will tell us about his life here as a major force with the San Francisco Opera. But first, I'd like to read to you a quote from Kurt Herbert Adler about his wife. He said, "Meeting her was one of the most fortunate developments of my life. She has kept me young and wise. I am grateful for this marriage, for the unexpected blessing of being able to marry her." With the story of her husband, here's Nancy Adler.
Music is something that puts life on a different level. It is something that is a gift to everybody's life.
Kurt Herbert Adler's discovery of music began at an early age in Vienna, Austria. By the time he was 13, he was able to sight read a piano score of Wagner's Die Walküre without ever having seen it before. As a child, he learned 6 languages, and then later he studied simultaneously at the University of Vienna, the Vienna Conservatory, and the Musik Academy. As his talents became recognized, he worked as assistant to the legendary Arturo Toscanini at the Salzburg Festival, and as a conductor for the famed producer Max Reinhardt. He conducted in Austria, Germany, and Czechoslovakia. After emigrating to America, he was hired as conductor and chorus director at the San Francisco Opera in 1943. 10 years later, after the death of opera founder Gaetano Merola, he was named general director of the San Francisco Opera. Under Kurt's direction, the opera flourished with its many innovations, including world premieres and American premieres, such as Poulenc's The Dialogues of the Carmelites, Strauss' Die Frauenauschatten, Britten's A Midsummer Night's Dream, and Ryman's Lear. During those 29 years, many important artists made their American debuts in San Francisco. Singers Birgit Nilsson, Elizabeth Schwarzkopf, Leonie Rieseneck, conductor Sir George Solti, and of course, Leontine Price.
I would say unabashedly, I love Kurt Adler. And it's a very stunning outfit.
It is?
Yes.
It's my old place. I have a new one.
Well, you know, the old things hang on there, you know what I mean? I keep trying to tell you that.
I hang on to you. Okay.
He attracted talent from all over the world, including the late stage director Jean-Pierre Ponel, conductors Carl Böhm, John Pritchard, Silvio Varviso, Francesco Molinari Pradelli, Mstislav Rostropovich, and singers Renata Tebaldi, Mario Delmonico, Teresa Berganza, Joan Sutherland, Beverly Sills, Anya Celia, Montserrat Caballé, Luciano Pavarotti, and Placido Domingo.
I think he's one of the really great impresarios and great general directors that we have had, and I think San Francisco has been very lucky to have him for quite so many years.
I think then Mr. Adler is the opera of San Francisco.
And I kiss you. Bravo, thank you for this beautiful production you gave to me.
In his ambition to popularize opera, he took many creative approaches. In 1954, he cast Lee Marvin and Dorothy McGuire in speaking roles in Honegger's Joan of Arc, yet another American premiere. Kurt launched the San Francisco Opera auditions in 1954, and in 1957 he created the Merola Opera program to train young opera professionals. He loved to teach, and he was devoted to developing young talent, such as the late conductor Calvin Simmons, and singers Jess Thomas, Carol Van Ness, and Leona Mitchell.
One. I have a question, dear.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your tongue?
I'm trying to make it not wave at you.
Kurt fostered the Affiliate Artist Program, now known as the Adler Fellowship, which gives artists an opportunity to work full-time in their profession and to bring opera to as wide an audience as possible. For example, Brown Bag Opera performs in neighborhoods, hospitals, and schools. Kurt also founded Western Opera Theater, a national opera touring company. One of his most exciting innovations was Spring Opera Theater, where unusual approaches, new talent, and fresh ideas were presented at popular prices. And let's not forget the reason we're here today. Kurt's Opera in the Park gives everyone a chance to hear international stars. As committed as Kurt was to his local audience, he traveled worldwide conducting, and he took the San Francisco Opera overseas for the first time in 1979 to the Philippines for an audience of over 1 million people and another 15 million watching via telecast. In recognition of his accomplishments, he has been honored by dozens of nations. It is clear that at the time of his death, Kurt's impact on opera virtually embraced the globe. In addition to his roles as conductor, impresario, and administrator, Kurt was also a family man. He has 2 adult children, Kristen and Ronnie. Kurt and I were married in 1965, and we have 2 children, Sabrina, 8, and Roman, 5.5. While one of his greatest joys was playing with the children, it was strictly business when he conducted and they performed in the Marin Opera's production of Hansel and Gretel.
When sometimes we made mistakes, he told us how to do it the right way, but sometimes he got kind of mad. When I did it right, everybody was proud, and he got proud of all of us and stuff. First, my dad was conducting it, and then my sister wanted to be in it, and then I decided to be in it, and I didn't know what to be, and then I decided to be a snake, and then he showed me how to get on the stage, and how to lie down, and what to say, and what to look at.
From his own family to his opera family, Kurt Herbert Adler left a legacy of innovation, inspiration, and dedication to perfected excellence. He could be tough, and his wrath was well known. But somehow Kurt's wit, charm, and humor could dispel that ferociousness. It seems certain that the opera world and the world itself will never be quite the same without him. I'm Nancy Adler.
Two of Kurt Herbert Adler's children have chosen roles in the music world. The oldest son, Ronald, is with the Bavarian State Opera in Munich, and Sabrina, who's 8 years old, performs with the San Francisco Girls Chorus. So the musical legacy of Kurt Herbert Adler also lives on through his children. Well, in its 66 years, Latvi Mansouri is only the 4th general director of the San Francisco Opera. Currently, he is also serving as general director of the Canadian Opera, post that he will leave in January to devote his full attention here in San Francisco. Born in Iran, Latvi Mansouri brings a diverse international background to the San Francisco Opera, from stints in college musicals opposite Carol Burnett to directing for Zurich and Geneva operas. He's written a book, My Operatic Life, and now seems to be starting yet another chapter of his life here in San Francisco. Mr. Mansouri, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for asking me.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
I couldn't be better. It's just ideal.
You know, the San Francisco Opera represents kind of a full circle for you, because I understand that it was at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles that you were a super, you ushered, and met opera.
Absolutely. It was the very first thing I ever did on stage. I carried a spear in a production of Otello. The San Francisco Opera Company used to come to L.A. and play at Shrine Auditorium, and I was a student, pre-med student.
That's right,
at UCLA, and I used to get $1 and go down there. It was incredible. It was like walking into fantasy land. I loved it.
That fantasy feeling has never left you, has it?
Oh, no, no. It was just, I was like as if I was obsessed by it. I fell in love with opera. I had never seen it until I was about 19 years old.
Now, you spent all your life now as a stage director, and now suddenly you are thrust into the position of administrator. And when you went to Canada, one of the things you were concerned about, that you talked about in your book, was that you were worried that you were going to have to be pulled away from your first love, which was directing, to be an administrator. Now, how have you balanced that?
I think it's actually worked out very well, because in general, I love the kind of total picture of opera, everything. And as a general director, that's your business, the totality of the art form of opera. And I have made a slow transition. I always feel that the Canadian Opera Company experience was kind of like a graduate course preparing me for the San Francisco Opera.
Now, that's interesting. Are you, you know, you have talked often about the Disneyland. You wish you could enlist Disneyland to do opera productions.
I do,
and everything.
yes.
You approach it with a very emotional, as opposed to intellectual or very academic way. You must be enthused about it to do it.
Well, I tell you what, I believe very strongly opera's for people. Opera's for everyone. Look at this crowd. We have about 50,000 people, and they love it. They live with it. What's the difference between this and a rock concert? It's an emotional experience.
In the book, you also said that an opera really appeals to you if it makes your hair stand on end, and you listen to Vous when you were shaving, is that right?
Yeah, I had special music for, and whenever I wanted to get a very close shave with Votre, I actually bleed because I would get such a close shave.
What's it like, you know, if you bring that kind of emotion and enthusiasm to directing, what's it like working with the big stars, like Leontine Price, for instance?
Well, I tell you, they're big stars because they're wonderful. I loved working with Leontine, Joan Sutherland. Look at Placido Domingo. He's one of the greatest artists, and because he's a wonderful human being.
Yeah,
you know?
It is. It must be an interesting dance that you must do sometimes to be able to take a singer and ask them to do something that they might not actually feel like doing.
Well, actually, you know, they talk about Mr. Kissinger in the diplomatic corps. I think as a director, there's an enormous amount of diplomacy and tact and everything else that is involved.
If we can, if we can look forward a little bit into the future of the San Francisco Opera, New York Times said that you might be considering doing Prokofiev's War and Peace, bringing in Rostropovich. They also mentioned a Mozart series in '91. Tell us a little bit about.
Well, we have an enormous amount of plans, you know, because San Francisco Opera Company has been always a kind of a spearhead in the field of opera in the Western world. And I like to start all sorts of new ventures. I want to start a Mozart Festival, Rossini Festival. We're going to do the Ring. I want to do new operas, a composer-in-residence program, and strengthen just about every aspect of it and get it ready for the 21st century.
You've had your 10th production here at San Francisco for the while, and Placido Domingo is here with you. What's it like now? You can tell us.
Tell me.
Nobody's listening.
Yes, and nobody's listening.
What's it like directing? What's he like to direct, Placido Domingo?
He is a dream. You know what he does? He makes the stage director look good. He is so brilliant that he's so fast. I just love him. He's just absolutely incredible.
I can't think of a better time to bring in a special guest.
You naughty boy. I didn't know you were here.
I am here, yes.
No, I know you were there, but I didn't know you were listening to me.
Yes. I wasn't actually. I was just before, because I was just changing, but I was listening to the wonderful documental they have
of Mr. Adler.
Mr. Adler. That was very, very moving, very beautiful, and I'm very happy to be in San Francisco with Lotfi now being the third general director since I make my debut.
So it's wonderful to have you here. We put him on the spot and we asked him what it was like to direct you. But now tell us, because you're all over the world, what's it like to be directed by Lotfi Mansouri?
Well, we have been working in many productions, and what I want to say is that we have never had even one difference or one problem. I think that Lotfi loves the theater and knows exactly what are the needs of a singer. That's the most fantastic thing that you can have in a stage director. And in some of the productions, I'm still looking very much to work on a new production from scratch, because we have been always working in productions that existing productions already. This L'Africaine, we did it 16 years ago, but somehow, you know, this is an opera of period. I'm looking so much that we work on one of the works that we love very much together, because I have such a great time always with Lotfi, which is incredible.
Do you know, we all remember in San Francisco in 1983 when you flew across the country to save opening night by singing Otello. What is it like to sing at that time of night after having to fly all the way across country? Is that hard on the voice?
Well, what many people don't know is that the day before I arrived from Spain, That hasn't been said. So it was for me 9 hours difference. So by the time I was starting singing here, which was about 10 o'clock in the evening, yes, well, it was for me already 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Madrid time, so I should feel terrible.
He was up.
But it's one of those things that when sometimes you are able to improvise something and it comes just wonderful.
Quick question before we let you go. Now you are embarking on a conducting career in addition to the singing. Does the conducting now affect the way you interpret something as a singer, and does your singing career affect how you interpret for the orchestra as you conduct?
Sure. One thing, it helps the other tremendously. You know, I think that I can see deeper into my musical interpretations, just like when we work on a dramatic interpretation, the most you have done a piece, the most things you can find, you know. It's the same with the music, and understanding the music from the conductor point of view, it helps the singer tremendously.
Thank you very much. I know you have to get back. We're going to watch you conduct, and we are looking for wonderful years ahead from Lacrimosa.
If it's with him.
Yes.
Very good, gentlemen.
The thing we love is that we have the right approach to music, which is happiness.
Yes.
Happiness
Very
and
good.
enthusiasm.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. We'll see them both in just a moment. But, you know, the supernumeraries are a devoted group of volunteers who appear on stage in every opera production at the San Francisco Opera House, ranging in numbers from 200 to 500. Now,
Verdi's overture, La Forza del Destino. The San Francisco Opera Orchestra led by Placido Domingo this afternoon. The overture itself often been associated with Maestro Adler, who conducted it in both 1976 and the 79 seasons of the San Francisco Opera. And here today is a tribute to the late Maestro Adler, receiving a rose from Nancy Adler from the vase that was presented to her earlier this afternoon. Mr. Domingo and Maestro Adler worked frequently together during Mr. Adler's years as general director at San Francisco Opera. And the last collaboration was in Carmen in 1981, in which Mr. Domingo sang Don José under Mr. Adler's baton. And Placido Domingo will be back later to sing for us again this afternoon here at Opera in the Park, again thanking the orchestra. Here at Golden Gate Park, the Music Concourse this Sunday afternoon. In a moment, returning to the stage will be bass baritone Michael Devlin to sing one of the most popular melodies in the operatic repertoire, the boastful song of the matador Escamillo from Bizet's opera Carmen. The blustering hero of the bullring toasts the dangers and the glamour of a matador's life. The aria is entitled Votre Toast, but it's better known as the Toreador's song. Bass baritone Michael Devlin, here with the opera orchestra led by Maurizio Arena.
Seigneur, car avec les soldats, oui, les toreros, eux s'entendent, pour plaisir, ils ont les combats. Le cirque est plein, ces jours de fête, le cirque est plein de haut en bas. Les spectateurs perdent la tête, les spectateurs s'interpellent à grand plat. Apostrophe, crie ta page, poussez jusqu'à la finale. Ah, c'est la fête du courage, c'est la fête des gens de cœur. Allons, regarde, allons, allons, bien vi songe comme avant, un œil noir te regarde et que la vie t'attend. Toreador, l'amour t'attend. Vi songe en combattant, un œil noir te regarde et que la vie t'attend. Toreador, l'amour t'attend. Tout d'un coup, on fait silence, à que se passe-t-il? Et depuis ces maisons, le taureau s'élance dans la discorde du toril. Il s'élance, il antifrappe, un cheval roule, entraînant un picador. Ah, bravo taureau, tire-le la foule, le taureau va, il vient, et frappe encore. De pilote qui coule, le cirque est plein de sang. Quand ce sang va flasher la grille, c'est encore maintenant. Allons, regarde, allons, allons, Toreador, et songe bien, oui, songe en combattant, un œil noir te regarde et que la vie t'attend. Toreador, l'amor tatto. E socio piavi socio trovato, era in Votre ricorde che l'ha mutato Toreador, l'amor tatto, Toreador, Toreador,
Toreador, l'amour t'attend. Toreador, love awaits you. Michael Devlin singing the Toreador song from Bizet's Carmen.
It's a real publicity blurb there that he's giving for his act the next day. Come and see how great I am. And everybody will see it.
Mr. Devlin sang this role of Escamillo in Carmen in San Francisco in 1983. The music of Mozart is next on Opera in the Park this afternoon. We'll hear a well-known duet from Mozart's opera Don Giovanni. The rogue Giovanni suavely woos the innocent Zerlina by promising her they will be married if she will only give in to his amorous pleading. Here are Ruth Ann Swenson as Zerlina and Justino Diaz as Don Giovanni in the duet La ci darem la mano.
La ci darem la mano, la mi dirai di sì. Se ti non è lontano, partiam ben mio da qui.
Vorrei e non vorrei, mi trema un po' il cor, felice versarei, ma può burlarmi ancor, ma può burlarmi ancor.
Vieni mio bel diletto,
Mi fa vita vasetto,
io cangerò tua sorte.
questo non son più forte, non son più forte, non son più forte.
Vieni, vieni, la ci darem la mano.
Vorrei e non vorrei,
Non mi dirai di sì.
mi trema un poco il cor.
Partiam ben mio da qui. Vieni, io Andiam, andiam.
Don Giovanni putting the moves on Zerlina, who yields to his irresistible charms. The music of Mozart, sung by Ruth Ann Swenson and Justino Diaz.
I probably have sung Don Giovanni probably more than any other opera, and of course Mozart always gives you that gorgeous musical line to deal with. And this duet is a real jewel.
Mr. Diaz made his San Francisco Opera debut in the role of Don Giovanni in 1978. And Miss Swenson's San Francisco Opera debut was also in a Mozart role, Despina in Così in 1983. And now here's Placido Domingo with a special surprise for us this afternoon. He's agreed to perform a selection from the Spanish lyric theater, the art form known as the zarzuela, and he'll introduce it.
Ladies and gentlemen, is this work or is not work? I guess, since I know in this part today, it's a wonderful public, but I know that a lot of them that are Spanish. And so I decided that I was going to sing something in Spanish. I'm going to sing from the music of my country, the zarzuela, an aria from La Tabernera del Puerto. No puede ser.
Music of the zarzuela. It Cannot Be, No Puede Ser, from La Tabernera del Puerto by Pablo Sorozabal, Placido Domingo, singing in his native Spanish. Mr. Domingo was born in Madrid to parents who were both zarzuela singers, and in recent years he has done much to advance this art form in non-Spanish speaking countries. Taking the bows here of the 40,000 people in the music concourse of Golden Gate Park, the orchestra conducted by Maurizio Arena. This aria is to be included in Mr. Domingo's new album of zarzuela arias, to be released soon on the Angel label. Soprano Ruth Ann Swenson will rejoin us now to sing another selection by Donizetti, this time from his opera buffa, Don Pasquale. The heroine Norina reads a love scene from a romantic novel and laughingly exclaims that she too knows the secret ways to win a man's heart. She's adept at all the smiles, coy glances, and feminine caprices that are part of the art of amorous conquest. Quel guardo il cavaliere from Don Pasquale, sung by Ruth Ann Swenson. Ruth Ann Swenson, a graduate of the San Francisco Opera Center, now well on her way to international stardom, singing music from Donizetti's Don Pasquale, the aria of Norina.
I just finished doing that this past year in Geneva. She's fun. She's another one who gets her way. She's a little tricky about it, but she gets her way.
Ruth Ann Swenson was last heard as the tragic heroine of Gounod's Romeo and Juliet in her previous experience here at the San Francisco Opera, and no doubt she'll be back. For our final selection today here at Golden Gate Park, we'll return once again to the music of Verdi for a famous duet for tenor and baritone from the opera Otello. We'll hear the conclusion to Act 2, in which the treacherous Iago inflames Otello's jealousy with insinuations that his wife Desdemona is unfaithful. The duet for the two men comes to a furious climax as they swear vengeance on all those who betray Otello. Justino Diaz is Iago, and Placido Domingo sings the title role in the duet Si Pelceo from Verdi's Otello.
Colpa, io non narrai che un sogno terribile han fatto, un sogno che può dar forma di prova d'altro indizio, e quando allor vedeste in mano di Desdemona un tessuto trapunto a fior e più sottil d'un femo, e le fazzoletto ch'io le diedi e mio primo amor, quel fazzoletto ieri certo di sol lo vidi in man di Cassio. La vita li non ha sentito, la povera prova al furor mio, io poi cortino di da me le pietose larve, tutto il mio vano amore sciala al cielo, guardami e sparve nelle sospire d'amore di travavita. Sangue, 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 i belli cieli marmorio giuro per le attorte folgoni, per l'amore, per l'oscuro ma sterminator, ironia tremenda, presto fino che spalconi questa man io devo stendere. Non fate ancor testimone il sol ch'io mido, che mi radia in anima la mia terra il ma sospiro del creato in ter, e ad otello un sacro ardenti cuore, braccio ed anima santo nome nei cruenti. Tremendo
Yes, by heaven we swear, a rousing cry for vengeance. The duet of Otello and Iago from Verdi's Otello. Placido Domingo from Spain as Otello, and Justino Diaz from Puerto Rico as the scheming Iago.
They both swear by the heavens, the Harmonian heavens, to take vengeance. I have done Otello with Placido at the Metropolitan, at Covent Garden, and of course we did the Zeffirelli movie. And it was, needless to say, a very moving piece of music.
Maestro Maurizio Arena led the San Francisco Opera Orchestra in this final official selection on a 1988 Opera in the Park concert here from San Francisco's Golden Gate Park. But it seems that there's, of course, more. It's an annual tradition at Opera in the Park to feature a special encore, the famous Brindisi, or drinking song from Verdi's La Traviata. The opera repertoire abounds in drinking songs, and this is easily the best known. A salute to the joys of love, good cheer, and, of course, wine. Placido Domingo sings Alfredo, and Ruth Ann Swenson sings Violetta, joined by all of our artists today to sing Libiamo, Libiamo. Let's drink from our joyful glasses and let beauty flourish. The performers holding hands on stage here today, of course, Maurizio Arena, consulting with him about when to go, when to lift the glasses.
Libiamo negli lieti calici che la bellezza infiora, e là fuggevol ora sinepria voluta, liviana i dolci fremiti che suscita l'amore, poiché quell'occhi al cuore onnipotente va. Amore fra i calici più galliva ci avrà.
Tra voi saprò di venere del mondo giovanna, tutta sonia ne vado, giochina e piacer, godiamo la terra e doni caudio dell'amore, il fiore che dolcevole e più si può aver. Godiamo, ci invita, e come potendo lusighe. La vita è un tributo,
Quando non savi ancora,
non dite che lei giura.
è il mio destino
Ruth Ann Swenson Michael Devlin, Justino Diaz, and Placido Domingo releasing the balloons, and more balloons from behind the band shell, in yellow and purple and green, blue and violet, soaring skyward. Others releasing and applauding today include Lotfi Mansouri and Sarah Billinghurst of the opera, and also Terry Robbins of the San Francisco Examiner. Sabrina and Roman Adler here today at this outdoor tribute to the late maestro Kurt Herbert Adler. Placido Domingo drinking of the wine, also referred to earlier as the elixir of love. And in fact, a drinking song began Opera in the Park today. The music for the Star Spangled Banner from Anacreon in Heaven was used to set the poetry of Francis Scott Key at 2 o'clock today. And the balloons sky shoreward, giant bouquets sort of bubbling through the sky here this afternoon as the song is lifted out here above Golden Gate Park, here at the band shell and along the music concourse at Golden Gate Park, and this 16th annual live Opera in the Park broadcast. I'm not sure whether somebody is going to make a speech or not, but certainly they're enjoying the festivity there. It seems they've already quaffed their champagne. Lotfi Mansouri holding up one of those cerise and black signs that says product.
It was established a few years ago that you were going to sing with us. So please, this time we want to hear you more. Here it goes again.
Here now, Libiamo, and you too join in with Placido Domingo, Ruth Ann Swenson, Justino Diaz, and Michael Devlin.
La bellezza infiora, che la fuggevole sinestria voluta, liviana i dolci fremiti, confusi dall'amore, poiché quella che al cuore onnipotente va.
The famous Brindisi or drinking song from Verdi's La Traviata. Placido Domingo here leading the 40,000 people of the audience here at Golden Gate Park, and the audience having the words in the back of the Bravo signs in the back of the programs here. And what an afternoon it's been. And as soon as the balloons drift through the sky and the fog drifts into the park, the audience drifts home through the trees. This beautiful late summer afternoon is like an equinox of sorts. Opera in the Park welcomes the opening of fall season. The air has turned brisk. The tank tops now covered by sweaters and coats here in Golden Gate Park. And now to close our outdoor celebration, We go back to Michael.
Thank you very much. Well, I think you can tell this has been a very special edition of Opera in the Park. We're very glad that you could be with us, but this has just been an incredible celebration. The balloons, the encore of the encore, our new director, Latvi Mansouri. It's just been a very special time. We're glad that you could be here. We want to take a moment and say thank you to some very special people. San Francisco Opera, of course, and its general director, Latvi Mansouri, the musical director, Sir John Pritchard, and of course, thanks to the Friends of Recreation and Parks, and of course, the San Francisco Examiner. I'm Michael Dixon. It's been a pleasure being with you. Thank you very much for joining us today on Opera in the Park.
Presentation of Opera in the Park was made possible in part by grants from the Fred Gellert Foundation, by the San Francisco Examiner, a newspaper for the next generation, and by the members of KQED.
Her violent abduction and transformation sent shockwaves through the Bay Area and the nation.
I would have done almost anything that they had told me to do.
Tonight, Patty Hearst relives the terror when she joined forces with her captors.
Then it's Opera at the Ballpark when I take opera star Placido Domingo to meet his idol and baseball's hottest hitter, Jose Canseco.
And these beautiful bundles of joy can grow up a little easier with help from the country's #1 baby doctor.
I had a chance to meet opera superstar Placido Domingo. We're talking charm with a capital C. I mean, he took my hand and kissed it. I immediately understood why his charisma and sex appeal are legendary. Well, last week I had a chance to meet with him again, and this time he tells me about his secret passion, baseball. Opera and baseball, never the twain shall meet. But meet they did when the world's greatest tenor shook hands with baseball's hottest hitter. Jose Canseco, meet Placido Domingo. This superstar of opera is Jose's biggest fan.
I'm very, very much enthusiastic now about the Oakland team because of one Spanish player, you know, this great player, Jose Canseco, and, you know, about to achieve his big dream of 40-40, which has been until now a dream, but is very close to be realized. And maybe today we have the 40th home run. I'm just looking so much for it.
Let's.
In the world of opera, Placido Domingo has already earned his place in the Hall of Fame. Placido is here for the San Francisco Opera's season premiere, L'Africaine, in which he stars as the dashing explorer Vasco da Gama. It may seem strange that the singer who sells out the world's opera halls also finds time to follow the sports page, but Placido is a Renaissance man.
If it wasn't for opera, would you be a baseball star?
No, I don't think so. I was a very fair player, you know. I enjoyed playing. No, I never have the time to develop any ability, you know. I used to play third base and then first base, but I can assure you, very badly. I think I can sing better.
Between performances, Placido took me to an A's game. We were the guests of A's owner, Walter Haas. That day, Placido turned out to be as popular with A's fans as he is with music lovers. But I still had to ask.
Who's Placido Domingo?
Who?
Placido Domingo.
I never heard of that. Is it a person?
Who's Placido Domingo?
I think he plays New York Mets right field. Oh, no, he's nobody. He ain't even coming up, man. He's going to be out of the league before he even gets in.
Who's your favorite opera star?
Who cares about opera? I don't know, Pavarotti.
You know, talent is talent. And when you have talent like his, you admire it. Just like when I see some of our pitchers or players, and they have remarkable talent. You know, you have to take your head off to it. And if some of those guys are good people to it, it adds something to it. And that's why I admire Placido so much. Bring us some luck again today, okay? Let's go, so. Okay. Right. Nice to see you. Right.
At this showdown with Kansas City, the whole stadium was hoping to see Canseco hit his 40th home run. One leg of the record-setting 40 homers, 40 steals that would make history. But for Placido, the historic moment was meeting his baseball idol.
I hope today is the day for the 40th. Me too. Okay? Soon. Yes, soon. Soon. It should be. Taking too long. Yes. Yeah. In any case, you are already on the playoffs, I am sure. Yes. I hope so. That's wonderful. It's great. Continues being an example for all the Spanish people. Yeah, that's wonderful. He's going to make it today, and I have said that he's going to make it at his first at bat. So let's see. That's as good guessing as anybody else, you know.
So now, our man. Who's our big?
That's low for a ball.
They changed the national anthem here to say, Jose, can you hit?
Right over the top with a fastball.
It was high, that ball. It was high, that ball.
Well, it took Jose Canseco one more game to get his 40th home run, and another one for the A's to clinch the Western Division. But to Placido Domingo, it really didn't matter. He's looking at the long season and hoping he and Canseco can leave a mark of a different kind.
So, but I think what it is important is that Canseco is an inspiration. Like, I hope, in a way, in a different way, I am for the Spanish people in this country. It's 20 million speaking Spanish in this country. It's a very big amount, and I think we need to keep all together, and the Spanish community needs to grow. So I think he's a great man for sports, and he's a great inspiration for the Spanish people.
I'm sad to say Placido's last performance with the San Francisco Opera is tomorrow night. Now, if you'd like to see him, I would recommend standing room only tickets, which go on sale 2 hours before the performance, because Placido won't be back to San Francisco until 1990.
Meet the commander of Megaforce.
Call me Hunter.
His army is a little unusual.
You gotta volunteer just to get in.
But his weapons are the most powerful science can devise.
Just watch this.
At stake, the future of the free world.
Operation Hook, Line, and Sinker is a go. Let's do it.
And this time, they may have gone too far.
I beg your pardon?
Watch out for Megaforce, Thursday at 9 on Channel 7. The making of Channel 7 News, Thursday after the game.
A team with a rich tradition, the Los Angeles Dodgers needed a transfusion after the last 2 seasons. Providing that new blood was Kirk Gibson. Overnight, with the mentality of a linebacker, he became the on-the-field symbol of the Dodgers. In the dugout, it put Tom Lasorda again at the helm of a smooth-sailing ship that went on to finish first in the National League West. On the other side of the continent, the New York Mets had their sights set on a second World Series title in 3 years. Darryl Strawberry helped them attain step 1, first place in the National League East. And now, Dave Johnson tries to successfully guide them through step 2, the playoffs. The sun has set on the regular season, and tonight, the National League Championship Series dawns as Dwight Gooden goes to the mound for the Mets, and Orel Hershiser works for the Dodgers in Game 1. It's a beautiful early evening in Los Angeles. Temperature in the 70s. Sunny skies for the moment as we approach the twilight period. The lights will not take full effect for another hour and a half or so. Dodger Stadium filling up for Game 1 of the National League Championship Series as the New York Mets take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. And welcome to Los Angeles, everyone. I'm Al Michaels for Game 1, and a great matchup coming your way tonight with Dwight Gooden taking on Orel Hershiser. One thing is for certain, a week from Saturday, the World Series will begin either here or at Shea Stadium in New York, and it's the first team to win 4 games between now and then. How did these 2 teams get here this year? Well, the Mets were the consensus choice to win it in the National League East. And their season was really a 3-act play. They opened to rave reviews because they were 30-11. And then they got on a treadmill and played about .500 ball for 2.5 months. And then they turned it on at the